I picked her up from the airport at 9:47 p.m. She looked tired, distant, the way people look when their mind is still somewhere else. She smiled when she saw me, that soft, automatic smile she always used when she didn't mean it. The car smelled like her perfume, faint and floral. I asked how the conference went. She said exhausting. Then silence. That night, her boss called. "Hey, just checking in. How's she doing? We were worried." I frowned. "Worried? She never showed up to the conference," he said. "We thought she got sick." The call ended. I stared at the phone. My hand was still warm from holding hers earlier. I went to her suitcase. The zipper caught on the edge, like it didn't want to open. Inside, clothes still folded, tags still crisp. And then, beneath the neatly arranged stack of blouses, a hotel key card. Motel Redwood, room 117. Local, 20 minutes from our house. I sat there for a long time, staring at it. At 2 a.m., I drove there. The parking lot was nearly empty. A flickering streetlight, a humming soda machine. Room 117 was still rented. The front desk clerk didn't ask questions. He looked at me once, then looked away. I knocked. Once. Twice. Silence. I didn't stay. I just stood there long enough to hear the sound of movement inside. The soft scrape of a drawer, a muffled whisper. When I drove back home, she was asleep on her side of the bed, curled like a stranger. I watched her breathe, counted the seconds between each inhale. When she turned in her sleep, her hand brushed my arm. I didn't move. The next morning, she kissed me goodbye before leaving for work. I caught the scent of motel soap on her skin. That was the moment the world shifted, not loudly, but with the quiet precision of something breaking inside you that will never heal the same way again. I didn't confront her, not yet, because I wanted to be sure, and because a part of me, the part that once loved her, wanted to see how deep the lie went. I started small, a phone bill here, a bank statement there, her emails, her calendar. It wasn't hard. Betrayers rarely hide their sins from those who trust them. She said she was working late. I followed her once. She parked near the old motel again, stayed inside her car for 15 minutes, then drove off. No one came out. No one went in. But when she got home, her hair was damp. She kissed me again, the way someone kisses a photograph. Each night, I rehearsed what I'd say. Each morning, I said nothing. The truth was beginning to form, slowly, like ice spreading across glass. I sent the key card for analysis, subtle things, skin cells, fingerprints, and I waited. Days turned into weeks. My face remained calm, my voice steady. I made her breakfast. I told her she looked beautiful. I watched her eyes when I said it. They flinched, just barely, but I saw it. That's when I knew. She wasn't just lying. She was pretending to remember who she used to be. The lab called on a Friday. The results were clear. The fingerprints on the card weren't hers. They were mine. The realization hit like ice water. I had been there. Room 117. 2 months ago, a business trip of my own. A moment of weakness. A woman whose name I never asked. My hand trembled as I hung up. So that's what it was. Not her betrayal, mine. And somehow, she knew. The conference, the key card, the staged call from her boss, a mirror. She wanted me to see myself. When she came home that evening, she smiled again, the same hollow smile. "Long day?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "You?" She nodded, sat beside me, held my hand. And in that touch, I felt it. The quiet, calculated mercy of someone who already knew everything but chose silence over destruction. I left the house the next morning before dawn, went back to the motel, room 117. The door was unlocked, empty now, cleaned out. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the faint outline of where 2 bodies had once rested, Mine and hers, not my wife's, the other woman's. And then I realized this was her revenge. Not with shouting, not with fury. She'd made me walk into my own guilt. No screaming, no confrontation, just the silent echo of my own sin waiting for me to arrive. She didn't want to expose me. She wanted me to understand myself, and I did, completely. When I came home, she was in the kitchen, cutting fruit, calm, collected. Her eyes met mine. She didn't ask where I'd been. We sat in silence. I wanted her to yell, to cry, to call me what I deserved, but she didn't. That silence was the sharpest punishment I've ever known. She forgave me without saying the word. And forgiveness, I realized, was the cruelest weapon of all, because it left me alone, with nothing but myself. That night, I packed a bag. She didn't stop me. I left the key card on the counter between us. She looked at it once, then turned away. No words, no final goodbye. Just the sound of the refrigerator humming, steady and indifferent. I walked out into the night. Cold, clean, and empty. The door clicked behind me like a period at the end of a confession.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.